I'm preparing several pieces of Baltic amber right at this time, which are all holotypes and are already important specimens in our collections that need special care and conservation because they've essentially been around for a while. They haven't been protected that well against oxidation and the effects of the various elements. So what we're doing essentially here is I'm first grinding them down a bit, and then I'm going to embed them in a good glass conservation epoxy called Epotech 3012, and then the one exposed surface that remains, because we have to stick each piece to the bottom of a cup before we immerse the cup with the resin that we're coating it with. Well, what will then happen is then I'll paint the other side after this cures, and we'll have completely hermetically sealed each of the amber specimens.
Cool.
So right now I'm going to turn this on, and this specimen I noticed is at a funny angle, so I'm changing the angle of the piece. I'm not actually polishing it on the plane that it was on, but because the piece is tilted this way, I'm tilting the whole thing, and then recreating another plane so that the actual specimen lines up nicely inside. So then I go to the progressively finer grit sizes until it's fully polished. And that's what I'm doing here. And then finally with the final grit, which is a 2500, P2500 on the European scale. And this should give it a very nice polish, as you can see. And then what I do, I've also want to make the piece smaller, so I've made marks on the piece to cut it down a bit. Now that I've changed the shape of the piece, the next thing is to cut the piece so that I can fit it more easily into the cup, and we can improve the views of the two insects that are in this piece. And so I cut it with a diamond saw all the way around. And voila. It is now a better size than it was, as you can see. And now I just have to polish the exposed surfaces. So then it comes back here again. And then I take each of the four sides with this roughest grit size, just to kind of grind off the saw marks that are on it. And I do that all the way around the piece. And then finally the last side. And then I take the piece and I do the same. I repeat the same thing with each of those finer grit sizes. So we have a fully polished piece. And then finally, the final polish, same thing, four sides. And then there are a few marks from the pen that I had a felt pen on this, so that I'd take the other surface and get rid of those marks, and it's ready. So there it is. Its final form there. So then I take a look at it to make sure that it passes muster, and then I'm going to put the others to be embedded, and it seems fine. In fact, it's much better on the side that I just planed. So yes, it looks much better. It's a really neat insect in here. Okay, so it goes here with the others. These are all those that are being readied for embedding now. Just a few to go.
Great, thanks, Paul.